Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Deep and you are watching Scent Saga. Today's topic, best winter perfumes for the office setup. The perfumes that I'm going to recommend are basically the ones that I have personally used that I feel can be a really good choice for you. In case I have missed out on any perfume that you have used, you feel that it should have made this list, use the comment section, share your thoughts. In case I have already used the perfume, I'm going to go and share my experience with the same. In case I haven't used it, I'm going to go and test it out and share my experience after that, maybe in a future video. There's two more disclaimers that I need to mention. First, this video is going to be divided into two parts. The first part being perfumes under the range of 1000 rupees, and the second part perfumes from 1000 rupees till 2500 rupees. And the second disclaimer is, I am not a perfume expert, I am a perfume enthusiast. I basically try perfumes and share my experience and opinions on the internet. So with this disclaimer out of the way, let's get started with the first perfume. So the first perfume that I'm going to recommend for the office setup is basically going to be Pilgrim's Alpha. Before I even recommend the perfume, I do need to tell you what are the exact criteria based on which I have selected the best winter office perfume. So according to me, the perfume should not be a very animalic, skanky perfume. It should be something which is mass pleasing and should not offend anybody. The second thing that I think is important for an office perfume is it should not be a room filler or a beast mode perfume that is choking anybody around you. And the perfume should be as such that when somebody is coming close to you or is in your close proximity, then and only then they can get a whiff of it and they can appreciate the smell. Third, I feel is it needs to be moderately long lasting. At least 4 to 5 hours minimum is needed for the perfume to last. So these perfumes that I have taken today into consideration kind of checks all those boxes, and that is the reason they are here. So as I was mentioning, the first perfume in my list today is Pilgrim's Alpha. This perfume is selling for around 599 rupees for 100 milliliter, and I feel that this is a very good choice for the winter daytime. Best suited for an indoor setup rather than an outdoor setup. The notes of this perfume are basically, it has got a citrusy opening at the top with a spicy middle note, and at the base it has got musk and sandalwood. The entire combination is very sophisticated. When you smell the perfume initially, when you spray it, basically for the first 15 minutes, you're going to get a mild alcoholic blast, which is very normal for a perfume coming at the budget of around 500 to 600 for 100 ml. That is very normal. But after that, when it settles, this turns into a very, very, very good blended perfume. And the projection is around 45 minutes for this one. Lasts around 4 to 5 hours easily if applied on the clothes. One more reason I really like this brand is because in their website they have mentioned that these perfumes are basically dermatologically tested and they are safe on the skin. There is no paraben, there is no phthalates. So it's a really good thing that the company has went in and mentioned those, because that really, invokes a lot of confidence recommending the perfume. So for 599 for 100 ml, this is going to be a really good choice for the daytime in the office setup indoors. The second perfume that I'm going to recommend today under the budget of 1000 rupees is Skinn Verge. This again makes into any perfume list when I'm making under the budget of 1000, because this is a very versatile perfume. And I feel that if you are basically a person who has to work outdoors during the winter and you are traveling a lot, then this 20 ml bottle coming at around 550 rupees is a really good choice. Not only is it travel friendly because you can just put it in your pocket and spray it whenever needed, this is a really good blend. With the opening of coriander and spearmint, this is a very spicy, fresh, minty perfume. It has got very little bit of sweetness, but I feel that this can be a very, very, very worthy companion as a winter perfume during the daytime, and it works perfectly fine in the indoors. But I feel for an outdoor setup, this is a better choice. It lasts really long, like 6 to 7 hours easily if applied on the clothes, projects really well. And that is the reason I feel that during the winters, this is really good for the outdoors. Indoors, you need to spray a bit less, maybe 6 sprays and you are done for the day. And this is a really good recommendation under the budget of 1000 rupees for winters in the office. The third perfume that I feel will work really good for anybody in the hospitality sector during the daytime in the winter is basically Follow Me Perfumes Dylan Blue. The reason I say hospitality sector is because the original Dylan Blue, basically Versace Dylan Blue, costs around 5,000 to 6,000, and that's a really good perfume, but you're getting almost 80% of that smell in this one. Also, this lasts really long. It comes in a budget of around 800 to 900 for this 60 ml bottle. They are also running some offers during the Christmas and New Year's. You can check them out, but generally this is listed at around 900 rupees for the 60 ml, and I feel this is a more workable solution to the Dylan Blue DNA because it's got that soapy vibe along with a little bit of hint of sweetness, and I feel in that hospitality sector that hint of sweetness is something which adds a bit of value, and for that reason I am recommending this perfume. I have personally used this in my office in the daytime, and it has lasted me around 6 to 8 hours easily when applied on the clothes. I would suggest don't spray more than 6 sprays for this one if you are in an indoor setup, because this really projects well. So if you're applying 6 sprays, I think that is good enough. Anything above that will actually start projecting like heavy, and everybody around you will be able to notice it. So I say 6 sprays are good enough if you're going for this one. So this is Dylan Blue from the house of Follow Me Perfumes, and I think this is a worthy recommendation under that price range of 1,000 rupees. The next 2 perfumes that I'm going to recommend are basically for the evenings, and the first perfume for the winter evenings that I'm going to suggest is going to be Upsilon's Golden Sand. This is kind of an oriental blend with caramel, saffron, rose. To be honest, the blend is really exquisite. This is not a beast mode projecting perfume, rather a moderately projecting perfume, but a pretty long lasting one. And during that winter evening, you need that warmth in the smell. This kind of provides that. For me, if you are applying this in the corporate office in the evening setup, this will work really fine. 799 rupees for 100 ml. I think this is a very inexpensive but good perfume. Also, I personally feel that Upsilon is a really good brand for the prices that it comes at. Initially, when I saw this perfume, it was listed for around 1,400 rupees. Now, in their official website, they're selling it for a 50% discount with 799. And for that price, I personally believe that this is really great choice. The longevity is around 6 to 7 hours easily. The projection is moderate for 1 hour. And you need to apply like 5 to 6 sprays, and you're good to go for the evening during the winters with this one. So this is Upsilon's Golden Sand. You can go for this. The last perfume that I have as a recommendation is somewhat I feel that this perfume needs to be introduced. I personally loved it, and I think you should try it out, which is Arabian Aromas Noir. The packaging looks really nice, and this is not a clone of any perfume. Usually Arabian Aroma is a perfume house which clones the designer fragrances, but this is basically their private line or their own blend, I would say. This is not a clone. I basically searched the internet when I was going to try this perfume out, and I saw the reviews that were there in the internet, and I felt most of them were paid. That's my opinion, but I felt that way. Most of them looked like an ad rather than a review. So I don't know about that. That is my personal opinion, but after trying this perfume out, I felt that I do need to highlight this because I really loved it. The blend is not something that would suit anybody below 30, but if you're above 30, this kind of adds a bit of dense mysteriousness around you in that corporate office sector. If you're somebody in charge of something, or you are a senior person in the office, I think this blend will really suit you during the winters. It has got the notes of leather, saffron, and burnt dried rose. No way this perfume is sweet. Whenever we say saffron, rose, and leather, people might think that this is a skanky or an animalic perfume, which is not the case. The leather is clean leather, the saffron is really airy, and the burnt dried rose kind of gives a little bit of edge to this perfume. I feel if you're somebody in an office setup in the evening, you're wearing this will add a bit on top of your character and create that aura around you. This is my personal opinion. I have also used this during the daytime as well, and it has worked properly. But I feel that this is a really good blend for the evening setup. Whenever we say about Arabian Aroma, a lot of people say that it's a paid content. However, this is not a paid content. I have used this. I have loved this. I felt that this perfume needs to be highlighted because I loved it, and that is the reason I'm recommending it. But anybody below the age of 30, please skip this one. This is not for you. One recommendation that I would have given the company is you should have made the bottle a bit translucent, because no way I can see how much juice is left inside. That is a bummer. In terms of the projection, this is a moderately projecting perfume, but it projects really well for the first 1 hour. Everybody around you will be getting slight whiffs if they're coming close to you. Longevity wise, I have applied it on the clothes, but this perfume is also IFRA certified, but I haven't used this on the skin. I have used it on the clothes, and it lasted a solid 7 to 8 hours on my clothes. But the projection was not loud. It was a very mild projection. And I feel if somebody is in a medicinal ward, maybe you work in the medicine department or in a hospital or areas like that, this perfume will really shine, because out of all those medicinal smells, this kind of adds the note of rose kind of adds that hint of depth and character. And I personally feel that you will appreciate the perfume more in that setup. So that being said, these were the perfumes that I feel under the budget of 1000 is really good. If you have got some suggestions in this price bracket, please use the comment section, and I will now move on to the perfumes above 1000 and below 2500. So the first perfume that I'm going to recommend to you is going to be this one. This is Noir by the House of Riffs. I have highlighted this perfume when I was doing a test with Chandrima regarding the Creed Aventus clones, where this was initially highlighted. This is a really good blend, and this is actually a very good close cousin of Creed Aventus smell DNA, I would say. This is available for around 1700. Sometimes it's listed for around 1400 as well. And this is a 100 milliliter bottle. The packaging is top notch. The cap is metal. The sprayer is really nice, and I personally love this perfume. The projection on this one is moderate and projects for around 45 minutes and then becomes a close skin scent. Lasts around 6 hours if applied on the clothes. This perfume really works during the daytime as well as the evening time, because the oak mossy nature, the burnt smoky vibe along with the pineapple, the bergamot. It's like Creed Aventus. If you have smelled any perfume like Creed Aventus, maybe Club de Nuit Intense Man, Supremacy Not Only Intense, or anything for that matter, this kind of smells like that. But it's not at all cheap smelling. For the first 10 minutes, you might get some harshness, but that also is very minimal. And this is a really well blended perfume in my opinion. You should definitely try this out. And by the way, I personally feel that this works better during the day, but you can pull it off in the evening as well. Perfect for an indoor setup, not an outdoor setup, I would say, for this one. The next perfume that I feel is really good for the outdoor setup as well as indoor setup and perfect for the daytime is Maison Alhamra's Yeah Man. This can be used in the 1000 range perfume as well as above 1000, because this particular 30 ml bottle sells for 700 rupees. The bigger bottle, the 100 ml one, sells for around 1700 rupees. This is a very good clone of YSL DNA, but this is more airy, more spicy, more refreshing in my opinion, but it has got that hint of, this is not sweet, this is mildly sweet, and that spicy nature kind of adds that warmth in the base, and I kind of love that. And I feel that this is perfect for the daytime, but it's really great for the evening as well. If I had to lean for one time, I would say it's perfect for the daytime. This I think is better for the outdoors because this really projects really well. So if you're applying it indoors, I would say restrict it to 4 to 5 sprays, max 6 sprays. Don't go beyond that, or it will start projecting like really heavy. Longevity is around 6 to 7 hours easily. Projection is around 1 hour. Then it starts coming close. This is a really value for money option. There is an initial alcoholic blast for the first 15 minutes, but after that when it settles, this is a top-notch perfume. One of my favorite for the winters in the office, Maison Alhamra's Yeah Man. And the next perfume that I have for you is Jaguar's Classic Black. This was my second designer perfume, and the smell is really sophisticated. mandarin at the top, green tea and some spices at the mid, sandalwood, vetiver, musk at the base. This is a really well blended perfume, doesn't really smell cheap. The only thing is it projects really soft. So if you're in an indoor environment, this will really go well. If you're in an outdoor environment during the winters, I think you should skip on this one. For the time, I would say daytime, this works really great. Evening, I won't suggest it much, but for the daytime, this really shines. And if you're in an AC indoor setup or maybe in a closed environment, this is going to be a really good perfume. And out of the lot, this I think is one of the most well blended perfume. This usually sells for around 1700-1800. I have seen in Myntra, but sometimes the pricing goes way above and sometimes it's listed for around 2500 as well. If you're getting it under 2000 rupees, that's really great. If you're getting it 1700, that's a steal deal. Sometimes with some card offer, this is available for 1400 as well. If you get it ever at 1400, grab this one for the office setup, not for the outdoors, only in the indoors. This is really great. This is classic Jaguar Black from the house of Jaguar. The last perfume, I have saved it for the last because I think this is the best one, which is Ajmal's Kuro. This is one of my favorite perfume. Some people say this is very similar to Dior Sauvage. I disagree. According to me, this is kind of a very good perfume which sits right between Prada's Luna Rosa Carbon and Dior Sauvage. This has got creamy lavender with some spices and ambroxan or ambergris at the base, and trust me, this is a very sophisticated blend, and this works equally during the day, equally during the evening, during the winters. First, I mean, this is an all-weather perfume, but during the summers, I don't usually use it in the daytime because the heat this perfume kind of cloys you during the summer daytime. But for every other possible events, be it spring, be it fall, be it the monsoons, be it the winters, this is going to be a perfect partner for your office setup. The projection is really good for this one, but a moderate projecting perfume. It will moderately project for the first 1 hour, then it starts getting closer to you. It creates a nice little scent bubble around you. The longevity is around 6 to 7 hours easily, and this usually sells for around 2400. But during discounts, I have seen this as low as 1700. My bottle was around 1700 when I bought it, but I have seen now it's listed for 2400. But for that price also, it's not that bad. If you ever get it at around 2200, 2100 or even 2000, grab on this one. This is going to be a really good companion for you during the office. There are two problems with this perfume. One, this is not a 100 milliliter bottle. This is a 90 milliliter bottle. And one of the most problematic thing with this perfume is the bottle design. This has got a really narrow base, so storing the perfume is kind of a bit tricky because sometimes it wobbles and falls. So I have to ensure that I'm keeping it in a very proper way so that the perfume doesn't fall, and that according to me is a design flaw. Apart from that, I don't have any problems with this perfume whatsoever. This is a really good perfume and I think you should try this one. These were my recommendations for the office perfumes for the winter, the ones that I feel are the best ones for you. If you have any perfume that you have used which was not mentioned in this list, please go ahead, add those in the comment section. I will love to check them out, and I try and respond to all the comments that you put through, and the amount of love and support that you have shown me is impeccable. Thank you so much for doing that. So with that, I end this video. This is Deep signing out. I'll see you on the next one very soon. Bye-bye.